right, and we're back. This is episode 131 of the Taproom Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. Oh man, I'm looking forward to you guys hearing this one. Got to record with Raul Solorio of Solorio Brewing out in Rancho Cucamonga a few weeks back, and man, it was fun. It was just a really cool, down to earth conversation, and what a great guy and a phenomenal brewer for that matter. It was just really cool hearing his story, man, and just and how it all kind of began. I don't want to give too much away or anything, but how one day he tried some craft beer and was just like, man, I want to try to do this. And he's the kind of guy that when he commits to something, he goes all in. And man, it is the stuff he's doing is so great. He won a couple medals at the California Brewers Cup, and man, it couldn't be to a well more deserving person, man. Just a really great guy, and just a, like I said, phenomenal brewer. So I don't want to give too much away. But we'll be jumping into the interview in a few minutes. But yeah, this past week on Wednesday, I got to record with the Brewed At podcast with Richie and Evan. They're out in Philly. I incorporated some new kind of questions, and I feel like it flowed so well. And it's always fun talking to podcasters too, right? Because they know the drill, and it was just really fun. And we got into favorite Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that out there. They've had the governor on their podcast. I was like, man, that's really cool. And just really good people. And I mean, obviously, CBC is going to be out there next year, so I got to get out there so I can be on their show, because we've already talked about it. So, oh man, it was just a really fun conversation. What else we got? Let's see. Oh, also for the t-shirts, if you guys want to check out the merch, I had Danny, his Digital Designs Media on Instagram. You got to definitely go follow that guy, dude. We hang out all the time. He's always at the Level Up. He works there too. Just a really great dude. And, man, he takes freaking phenomenal photographs. So he took some pictures of the new shirts, obviously the Rooted in Beer Fueled by Stories shirt with the hot microphone on the back. And then also the Pokemon one. They both came out really, really cool. And I'm probably going to post those sometime this week. But tonight I'm leaving for Texas, going back to Texas. So I'll be there until Thursday. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to record with Daniel from 5x5, which I'm pretty stoked about. That'll be cool. He's one of the brewers there, so that should be pretty fun. I'm always, me, anytime I go somewhere, I got to talk to someone. Last time was with Andrew from Howling Rabbits, which was a really fun conversation. Super stoked about that. And like I said, I get back Thursday. And then I'm doing an interview on Friday. I'm actually going to be talking with Anne. I don't want to mess up her last name. It's Obenchen or something like that. So sorry if I butchered the name. But she's actually the marketing director for GABF and WBC. And then next Saturday, I'm going to be recording with Steven from Gladiator Brewing. And then I might be doing something Sunday. I don't want to say just yet, but I might be. We'll see. Also, college football is back next week. I know it's only week 0, so there's only 4 games. But hey, there's a top 25 matchup, and I'm stoked about it. Then I think it's Iowa State and Kansas State. Definitely super stoked about that. You know me, I love me some college football, so I'm excited that's going to be back. And then the following week's Labor Day. I only work, I think, 1 day that week, so I am stoked. Yeah, I mentioned the t-shirts. It's if you want to go check it, the link's in the bio on Instagram. If you're not following and you're listening, get over there and give it a follow, brother. But it's at taproompodcast.dashery.com. That's DASHERY.com. Yeah, definitely check it out. If you guys can, do that. I got trying to plan on some more designs coming out. Still working on the other thing with the Dodger inspired one. So yeah. All right, it's going to be on this intro is going to be a little on the shorter side. Because I got to finish packing. Yes, because it's Saturday night, and I still haven't finished packing, so I got to get that done. But yeah, also some new taproom tales. We shot one. It's going to be called The Brutiful People. Looking forward for you guys hearing that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll say that at the end. What am I doing? I'm going to leave it in. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Raul. Like I said, if you're in the area, if you're like in LA County, you owe it to yourself because the Rancho brew scene is awesome. I mean, I know they got Mars out there. They have obviously Solorio. They have Hamilton. So there's a bunch of those places out there. And then along the way, you can stop at Level Up. You can stop at Pro 5. All these phenomenal places. So definitely check it out. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy the interview and stay tuned for the outro. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Raul Solorio.
Hey,
what's
there.
going on, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, glad we can make it happen. Thank you, Luis.
Yeah, absolutely. Good guy over there at Level Up.
Oh, yeah, he's great. And yeah, so it's at Solorio Brewing out in Rancho Cucamonga. It's off of Farron and like 8th and 9th, but it's a cool spot. We're about to talk a little bit and crush a beer. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I'm drinking the West Coast Pills. I think it comes in at 5. I think it says 5.4.
Yeah.
My eyes are still good.
Solulation.
There it is.
A lot of Citra, Mosaic.
Oh man, that's
Right
good.
there. Yeah.
Dang. Do you guys have to go cans? I might have to snag one.
You know what? Right now we're doing 32-ounce crowlers.
Oh, okay,
With
gotcha.
that one.
No, that's delicious, Ben. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh man, so we're out here now. We were talking a little off air. So you've been here about 8 years?
Yeah. This October will be our 8th year in business.
Okay.
Boy, it's gone by quick.
Oh, I bet, man. Time flies, man.
Yeah.
But tell me how it all got started for you. Tell me about your journey in craft beer, man.
Gosh, you know, it's, I'm going to say it started probably about 2008. We were out in Redlands. My daughter's having a soccer tournament out there. And during halftime, some of these parents, we were all talking, hey, do you know there's a brewery around the corner that just opened up?
Yeah.
It was called Hangar 24.
Okay, yeah.
So, the game had finished, in between our games. So we hit it off over there to Hangar 24, which was just down the street. And it changed my life.
Okay.
They had some IPAs. I think it was a Betty IPA. But goodness, it just changed our life. And at that point, it was like, okay, this craft beer, I got to learn more about it. What is this craft beer? We found a store up in Riverside called More Beer.
Okay.
We bought a little kit,
Nice.
An extract kit. I mean, it was just like weeks right after,
Yeah.
And we started extract brewing on the kitchen stovetop. I think we only did about 2 brews with that.
Okay.
Just kind of, it wasn't challenging enough.
Yeah.
So we instantly went into all grain brewing.
Okay.
And it was a game changer. We were able to brew some really good beers.
Yeah.
We had fun with it. Me and my wife, we brewed together.
Yeah.
It was our thing to do in the backyard, Jennifer.
Okay.
And that hobby just started getting crazy. We were hosting little parties at the house. I had friends, hey, can you make this beer for my birthday party?
There it is. Clearly they were good.
Knock on wood. But, and then we had a friend of ours, hey, we're getting married. We would be so honored if you would make, a couple beers for our wedding. Absolutely. This is our gift to you.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how this all got started. And it was about 2013. Probably had one too many beers, and Jennifer, we're sitting there talking, hey, let's open up a brewery. We can do this. We're making beers. People are liking it. We love the vibe, family atmosphere. It wasn't a bar scene. We felt comfortable. So we sought out a gentleman who was running a little brewery school out in Colorado. His name was Tom Hennessy.
Okay.
He runs the brewery. It's called Colorado Boy Brewery.
Okay.
And they're out in Ridgeway, Colorado. Since then, he's sold his brewery and he's focusing on his other ventures. But he runs a 3-day brewery immersion class, what it's called.
Oh, cool.
And this is geared to brewers who know how to brew. It's not a how to brew course. It's how to get you to the next level to open up a brewery.
Okay.
So it was a class for 2. Me and my wife, he flew out to Colorado. I spent time with Elliot, the head brewer, in the back, brewing on large scale, everything to how to brew beers, how to transfer, how to clean, how to keg, everything I would need to open up a brewery.
Yeah.
Jennifer was working with Tom in the back on the books, what documents to submit, what tax forms you're going to need.
Permits and all that
permits,
stuff.
exactly. And there's tons of them. After on that flight home, it was at that point we landed back home in Ontario. It was fast paced. At that point, we started looking for properties. We submitted approvals for the brewery named Solorio Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, everything was just fast paced at that time. And I think it was 2017. We actually opened up this brewery here in Rancho.
Man, that's cool. So, I mean, it was like just like a crash course on like, obviously like upscaling from like homebrew to pro, but that's cool that they even offered the part of like, the books and stuff, showing you how to do all that. Yeah. Because I'm sure that was a task in itself.
It was. It's Jennifer handles all that. She handles all our social media, all the taxes, paying all the bills. So she has a big job. I've got the easy job, you know. But in addition to, taking that brewery immersion course, Tom has put about 130 breweries or students have opened up breweries.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have a private community forum. We call ourselves Colorado Boy Alum.
Okay.
And we have a little private forum whenever, we have issues, anything we want to know about ingredients, process. We're stuck on something.
Yeah.
We just post the question and you get multiple answers, hey, do this, do that, ramp up the temperature, try this ingredient. So we've got a great community source, or should I say the Colorado Boy alum really help us out. And that's my source of information.
Love that. I mean, and that's what's great about this community, because everyone wants to help one another.
Exactly.
Like, there's some that like, that want to like, be a certain way, but I feel like 95% of the community is just fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what? It's all about, the beer community, if we can educate them or, say, hey, try this brewery down the street. That's only going to help us all out.
Oh yeah.
We're going to get more business. We're going to get those repeat customers. And again, it's not just helping us. It's also helping other breweries out.
100%.
So
yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. So when you guys first found, like, how'd you guys find this location?
Oh gosh, we sought out a real estate broker who was familiar with brewery operations.
Okay.
So yeah, back then, 2015, the brewery scene were basically in these warehouses. We were manufacturers, and that's all the city was allowing. If I can do it over again, it would probably be at a storefront, maybe doing some food, but this is what we got. And we just sought out different properties. There was a few people out there opening breweries at the same time. This property came out, was shown to us. It had floor drains already. It had plumbing.
Oh, so, great.
Yeah. So we were able to save a lot of money with this property. And we have a property owner who really supports us and understands our business. And we signed that lease and we've been here ever since.
I love it. And what was like, I'm sure like the initial kind of like for like the community coming in, like was it once they found you guys, was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We opened during really the craft beer boom.
Yeah.
And when we put it out there, hey, brewery coming soon to Rancho Cucamonga. Oh man, our emails were lighting up, Instagram, people were waiting there, wanted to come out and support us. And they did. We opened the doors in 2017 and we're still here.
It's great.
Yeah. Doing something we love to do.
There it is. Well, congratulations on that, man.
Thank you very much.
And I know we talked a little bit off air, but I mean, it's cool that it took you just trying something at Hanger and it created that spark.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, not a lot of people are willing to take the risk like that. And it's really cool that you and your wife together did it because, I mean, sometimes like when you're in a relationship, one person's really into craft beer and the other person's like, you're going to another brewery.
Right. No. We both were 100% in. Not only myself, but Jennifer, we fell in love with the craft beer community, the
Yeah.
scene, and just really enjoyed it. We took a deep dive once we decided to get into this industry. We took a second on the house, and that's how we got the funds to open up this place.
Wow.
Jennifer, right, I think a few months after we opened, we made the decision. Okay, Jennifer worked in the human resource field, real estate, human resource field. We made the decision. Hey, I need you here, certain times to open up. So she left her job. She quit her job. It took me a little bit longer than that. I came in from the aerospace industry. I worked 25 years for some major aircraft manufacturers.
Okay.
And I was probably making 4 times more back then than what I do now. But I do this for the passion of love. I'm not going to get rich at this, but it was probably maybe year 2, year 3, maybe. I took early retirement from my company to focus on this full time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I mean, and maybe like people that like aren't like in the area don't know, like there's a really great craft beer scene out here in Rancho.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It's growing. There's another one coming into town.
Oh, wow.
Pretty soon. But yeah, we have got a great beer scene here. I think now we're 6 breweries in the local area. One just recently closed, but they moved down to the downtown Upland area, King's Brewing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, we still have a great scene. Every weekend we get out-of-towners coming in.
Love it.
Looking for that beer, that craft beer experience. And, every week, we track our new customers coming in. Like yesterday, we had 43% new customers here.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
We love to see. And we're starting to see a new trend where we're getting a lot of new customers in there. And, that's a result of being in Rancho Cucamonga, all the, the breweries here in town.
Yeah.
People want to come to town and try some beers.
Yeah. I mean, because with Hamilton not too far away.
Yeah.
Kings was there. Jeremiah's a great guy. So was Josh from over there.
Yep. Yeah. And then you got, Rowdy's, you got Mars down here, and the new Kid in Town Brew Mill.
Okay.
They're going to be opening up the old No Clue location. Wow. Yep. We got some great sour house over here with sour cellars as well. So we got quite a few nice breweries here.
Love it, man.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask, because I know like Hangar 24 was kind of like was like your stepping, like like what kind of got you into it. But were there any other brewers or like breweries at that time like that like really influenced you?
You know what? It's a couple of the Redlands breweries out there. We kind of hung out at. They were close to home. There were Ritual was out there. There was another small brewery that closed, Donkey Punch. Probably a lot of people remember them. They've been closed for quite a while out there. Those were all, breweries that we frequented quite often and just really enjoyed the vibe. Beer styles, we were kind of all over the place. Back then, I think I was drinking a lot of West Coast IPAs, old school IPAs.
Oh, yeah. The danky ones.
Yep.
Can't go wrong. I still enjoy them. I just don't drink them as often as I used to.
I hear you.
Yeah. They can get a little heavy.
Yes, they can.
One of the segments I always like to talk about, it's called Flight School.
Okay.
If someone was coming in to the brewery, maybe they weren't craft beer people, maybe they're meeting up with their friends, but they're not like the craft beer person, or the craft beer like kind of connoisseur, and you were going to give them a flight of maybe 4 beers that you have. Like, which one would you like to get them to start off?
Oh gosh, we have a wide range of different beer styles.
You really do. It's great, and I love
lagers, the darker beers, the stouts. I think I would start by asking the customer their preferred beer styles. What do they like drinking?
Yeah.
And kind of recommend, some of our beers based on that conversation. But I also would like to see them venture out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe just a regular Pilsner. How about the Soul Elation, a hoppy Pilsner?
Oh, yeah.
Take it to a different level. Of course, our Got Soul Mexican Lager is probably our top seller right now. That would be one of them. The 909 Pilsner. Some of the darker beers, our Irish Red, our English Brown Ale. So it'd be based on that conversation with the customer. Then we can recommend certain beer styles.
Love it. And you just you were telling me earlier, congrats on Got Soul for the Brewers Cup.
Thank you. Yeah. It's that was extra special. We were notified a couple days before the competition that we had won. They didn't tell us how many, what beers. And we actually had the trip planned.
That's exciting.
We made a 5-day vacation, mini vacation. We flew out, spent time in San Francisco, visited a lot of breweries out in Sacramento area. Great beer scene out there in Sacramento.
Oh yeah.
And we actually invited one of our regular customers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we spent probably 5 days out there just drinking a lot of beer. Then we got to enjoy the award ceremony.
Yeah.
And that one was extra special because that Got Mexican lager was one of our top seller, top seller. And I wasn't expecting that one.
That's cool,
won.
Man.
The second award was a silver for our Cheeky Peach Crumble.
Okay.
It's in the experimental category. It's a peach sour. And so that was the first one announced, and that's all I was expecting. I was happy to go up there, receive the award, but then to get a gold for the lager was extra special.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure, because even though you didn't know what beers they were going to be, I'm sure the elation you felt when them announcing your name still.
It was cool. It was cool. And kind of a funny story, the year before, I entered our oatmeal stout.
Okay.
In 2024, we did not go out to the award ceremonies. Me and Jennifer were working. Jennifer was doing her trivia thing. No, I think she was doing bingo that night.
Okay.
And I was watching it live streamed, but I had the volume down. And no expectations of winning anything. Just wanted the experience. Find out where my beers are at. We get our score sheets back, and I see my name pop up there.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck, man?
That's cool.
And the funny thing about it is I thought it was a bronze. So I interrupt Jennifer. I just won a bronze medal at the oatmeal stout. I'm happy. So happy. Then I'm starting to get all these texts on my phone, and I pull it up. I said, shit, that's a gold. I want a gold for the oatmeal stout. So I had to interrupt her again and say, hey, we want a gold. So
that's cool.
Cool. We're just blessed here.
Yeah.
We're able to brew some good beer, and the community comes out to support us.
Love that, man.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. I mean, and that's what it's all about. I mean, obviously you don't do it for the medals, you do it for you love it. But I mean,
exactly.
To get that kind of that pat on the back, I made the right choice.
You're right. And prior to that, I've never done commercial competitions. I've done some homebrew competitions. I've won some stuff at that level. But in 2024 was the first year. Okay, let's kind of see where our beer's at. Are we on the right path? Are our beers where we want them to be? I was looking for feedback on my beers. Your friends come in, try your beer. Yeah, that's the greatest beer in the world. I love it. You're an awesome brewer. Yeah, that's fine. But is that really what's going on with my beer, and I wanted to get a professional opinion.
Of course.
I got great feedback, and it's helped me during that time to make adjustments and make that beer better.
It's awesome. And what was it like? I mean, obviously, right when you guys opened, almost 8 years ago, seeing the customers roll in and them enjoying your beer. What was that like for you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We were just floored, full of emotion.
I bet.
We opened up and the community came out. We had lines out the door. Our one big mistake on opening day is we use glassware.
Okay.
And this was like, we're running out of glassware here. We just opened, and because you should have did plastic, plastic cups. So we learned a big lesson there. But right off, year one was probably one of our best years. And customers came out, different breweries came out, and we felt the love.
Love that. What was the first beer you brewed professionally here?
You know what? It's probably one of our honey cream ales, I think.
Ooh, okay.
I brewed here. On the home brew scale, We won an award at a homebrew competition out in Arizona.
Love that.
And we used lemon zest.
Okay.
And that beer, when we got to the commercial level, trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to zest all these lemons?
Yeah. How many lemons do I need for this?
Exactly. And, I can't do that. I'm a one-man show operation back there. I brew by myself. I do everything. Jennifer at that time was helping me brew, mashing in, helping me. And we figured, okay, how can we zest? All right, how about if we get a drill, and put the lemon at the end of a big old drill and spin it and you zest it? And that wasn't going to work. So we came up with a process, lemongrass.
Okay.
So we used a big mesh bag. We probably got, probably 30 pounds of lemongrass, and we steeped it basically in the boil kettle.
Okay.
We dip it in there and let it sit for about 15 minutes. It smelled phenomenal. And it really worked out. It had a nice lemon aroma profile.
Love it.
And I haven't brewed that beer in a while, but it will definitely be bringing that beer back soon.
There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'll have to come down for that.
Yeah. It's a delicious beer.
Love that. Do you because I know you said you were doing extract, but do you remember, because I know, how was your first homebrew? Because I know a lot of times it's sometimes it's a throwaway batch.
Yeah.
But how was yours?
You know what? It actually came out really well. At least that's what we think.
Yeah.
It was a blonde ale.
Okay.
And it actually came out really, really good. And
that's awesome.
That helped us in our journey with our confidence.
Okay.
Hey, we can do this, as long as you pay attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned earlier, we only did 2 extract brews, and we moved on to all grain shortly after, just wanting the challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great though. I mean, you got to challenge yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Next segment I like to call it's called the 4-pack.
Okay.
So it's 4 questions. First one is, what's the one beer that never leaves your fridge?
Oh gosh. That's a tough one. These days, I'm drinking a lot of lagers, pilsners, on the lighter side. I'll take home our Gottsville Mexican lager, and that always seems to be sitting in our fridge. That's a good beer to drink.
There you go.
After a long day of brewing or on our feet.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you but I know you mentioned you worked in the aerospace part. Yeah. If you weren't in beer, was there something else you wanted to do?
Oh gosh, you know what? I would probably be in the aerospace industry where I worked 25 years. I loved what I was doing. But I always wanted to open up my own business.
Yeah. Get to work for yourself.
Yeah. But to be honest, I would be if not, probably, believe it or not, a competitive bass fisherman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I own a bass boat. Unfortunately, since opening up this brewery, I don't use it much at all. It's probably it's used for storage basically.
Okay.
But, I would probably be a competitive bass fisherman.
Okay.
I did that when I was younger, and that's one of my hobbies.
Okay. Love that. I mean, I've never done that part of it, but I used to, every once in a while, when me and my dad, we'd go up to Tahoe and we'd take the ATVs up to this one little stream called Miller Lake.
Uh-huh.
And it was just you'd have to go way up in the mountains to find it. But we would go fly fishing out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's one thing I never got into, fly fishing, and hopefully someday I could do that.
I mean, it was mostly, we wouldn't really catch a whole lot. I mean, because I wasn't very good at it. But I mean, there was always a little cooler of beers that I would, because I was 18. My dad would let me have a beer or two with him.
Yeah.
When we'd be up there, and it was just a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fishing's fun, and like I said, I'm not good at it. But I like to when my family would go before, we just go sit there and have a couple beers, and early in the morning, and I think we'd go to Santa Ana River Lakes or something like that. Yeah. And we'd sneak everybody in.
The crowd time to get out.
Yeah. All the time. Oh man. If you could the third question, the 4-pack, if you could collab with any brewery or brewer for that matter, anywhere in the world, who would you want to?
Gosh, I'm going to refer back to my mentor, Tom Hennessy. He's the one who runs the brewery immersion course out in Colorado. He brews a lot of English style beers.
Okay.
Cask ales.
Ooh, nice.
I would love to just reconnect with Tom Hennessy, brew anything he wants, just to be with the legend and
of course
to brew with him would be an honor.
Oh yeah, and I love English style beers. Like even like ESBs, you don't see them on menus, but like everybody sees English special bitter, and they just assume it's bitter, and it's not.
Yeah. You know, a story Tom Hennessy shared with me, ESB. It wasn't a very good seller in his brewery for some reason because of the name, extra special bitter. Is that an IPA? You know, I don't want the bitterness. But he changed the name to a pub ale.
Yeah.
And it instantly became his number one seller.
Became a hit.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's a funny story.
Yeah, I love a good like English style like cream ale too. Like, oh man. Like, I mean, for when I was a kid, like I would drink a ton of Boddingtons.
Yeah.
Like that was like, they just go down so smooth.
Right.
I mean, and people are like, why are you drinking that in the summer? I was like, it's good.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's super low ABV. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And I always feel like people always think like, even like Guinness, I feel like people feel like, oh man, it's dark. That's got to be so strong. I was like, it's not.
It's not. You're right.
But I mean, there's so many different styles out there, and when they're done well, man, like I always say, there's a beer out there for everybody.
You know, that's the craft beer industry.
Yeah.
You know,
love it. So I would say, that's why I say find your beer, because I mean, it's about finding like a beer that you love, but it's also just about finding something.
Yeah. You know what, and that's you know, if you don't find it at this brewery, you'll find it at the one down the street. You know, and it's craft beer community. You know? We're always. You know, do you have a cream ale? Unfortunately, I don't, but I know this brewery over here. Give them a try. You know, we're always referring customers here, as well as the other breweries are referring customers back here as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it so much, man. The last question, the 4-pack, number 4. What's a guilty pleasure you secretly love or not so secretly love?
My goodness. Well, you know, we host a lot of events here at the brewery.
Okay.
You know, since the craft beer industry is an interesting business ever since COVID. You know, we kind of had to recreate ourselves. You know, we're doing trivia. My wife does crafting with Jen, where she does all these little crafts, and that's growing. One of the events that we host is karaoke.
Okay.
You know, you mentioned Tipsy Entertainment.
Oh,
you know, he's one of our hosts. We also have another DJ, Marcelo, that comes out.
Okay.
You know, we kind of alternate. And, you know, I love staying for karaoke night. Normally, you know, we'll leave early evening, but always love to stick around karaoke. I love the music that's playing. I love the entertainment. We got some great performers. And I always wanted to go up there and sing. Just come on, you can do it.
Give it a shot.
But you know what? I can't do it. I just can't do it. My luck, you know, somebody would be recording it and post it on TikTok, and I would be the next TikTok craze. You know, so it's funny. But the other some time ago, I found a feature in our car on our display, car karaoke.
Okay.
So that's my thing. When nobody's around, I'm in the car by myself, hit the car karaoke, and I'm that crazy guy on the road singing and just having a blast with it.
I love that, man. You got to have fun, right?
Yeah.
You got to make life fun. Life's hard enough as it is. You got to make it fun. What would be your karaoke song, or what is your car karaoke song?
Anything 80s. I'm an 80s guy.
Okay.
Something from Depeche Mode or The Cure.
Okay.
I'm always singing along to that.
Oh, those are great. I mean, Depeche Mode and The Cure, I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to the Depeche Mode, was it yesterday? Just came on shuffle on my, because I hadn't heard it in a while, but it was, oh gosh, I'm going to forget the name. Oh, dang. I'll have to look. I can edit that out. But I mean, I'm like, damn it, it's going to bug me. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you remember the jingle to it there? There's always a little jingle to that.
Oh, yeah. This one was, let me see. Go to the old homepage here. This is great. I'm busting out some great content here. That's all right. I get it. I think it was called, was it Precious?
Precious is one of their later songs. Yeah. Dave Gahan with his deep voice and the lyrics are just phenomenal. Mark Gore wrote all their songs and just I love it. Yeah. Love that group.
You know, it's funny because I always loved Depeche Mode from before, but the first time I'd ever heard that song was on like an episode of Smallville or something like that. Really? Yeah, because I'm a big Superman fan.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. They, I graduated high school in 86 and early 80s, 81 through 86 was all just Depeche Mode was on the scene. And we had the pleasure of seeing them in concert many times. And
that's awesome.
So I'm an 80s guy.
Oh yeah. I love 80s hair metal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like one of my karaoke songs is Whitesnake, Here I Go Again.
Okay.
Yeah. That one or Def Leppard.
Yeah.
From Def Leppard.
Classics.
Can't hit the notes, but
it's all fun.
Oh yeah. Oh man, should we grab another beer?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cheers. Well, cheers. All right, we're back. I went off on a little tangent off air, talking about airplanes and aerospace and all that sort of stuff. But I got the Gotts. I got the
Gottsol Mexican
Gottsol.
Yeah,
the gold.
Yep, got gold as we call it.
There, got gold. I love that. Damn, that's refreshing.
Yeah, nice light, crisp beer, especially for a hot summer day.
Yeah. What more could you ask for, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. So I wanted to ask you a little bit, one thing I always love to ask, especially because incorporating like local culture, into your brewery, like your city, making it like, this is your city, this is your brewery. And I love how when breweries do that. So how do you kind of do that here?
You know what? Our city here in Rancho is pretty diverse, in our community. It's all about creating a fun social environment here.
Oh, yeah.
We had to rethink our business concept. Just brewing beer, rolling up the door and having great sales is no longer.
Mm-hmm.
You got to entertain customers. You got
100%.
You got to get creative. So that, that's why we mentioned earlier, we do trivia. We do crafting with Jennifer, my wife. Yeah. We do family Yahtzee night on Friday. Mm-hmm. Every Friday night.
I love
family Yahtzee. It's great. It fills up all down here. Our Yahtzee host, David, is just so into it, so entertaining.
Yeah.
He does a great job. We do live music probably, twice a month in the warmer summer months.
Okay.
We just try to keep the entertainment going. By doing that, customers will definitely come in and keep the doors open. But for us here, it's all about the craft beer culture. We take the time to talk to the customers about the beer styles, hey, you're drinking that 909 Pilsner, we kind of go over about the beer, talk about the history, the ingredients going in. And, we try to educate them. Our culture here in the brewery is community.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've said this time and time again.
Yeah.
If it's not for that community, we're not here.
Yeah.
They come in every week, support us. In addition to that, the community's coming together. We're making new friends here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've made so many good friends here from just the brewery. They've invited us into their house for dinner. We've taken trips, we go brew hopping with them.
Okay.
And, it's that beer community culture here that we really focus on here at the brewery.
Love it, man. That's awesome. I want to ask you too, because I love, because obviously I know I'm sure you have your cores, right? You have your Gottsol and all that stuff, but balancing that part of it and then the creativity part, because obviously you always want to be, ever changing and want to, do new things or try new things.
Yeah.
Just because you never know, some things will stick, some things won't.
Sure.
But how do you balance that?
You know what? For creativity, I'm always researching new yeast. There's, we use a couple of yeast labs out there that have totally different profiles that'll give different profiles to the beer. Hops, there's so many different hops out there. New ones coming out. Seems like daily there's experimental hops, and understanding with fermenting temps, what that does to the overall beer profile. I think the creativity is researching those hops, researching the yeast, and then incorporate that into our standard beer manufacturing process here. And that's how we stay consistent, keep our fingers crossed a lot of times, with everything. But as long as we stay consistent, follow our process, everything's cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
You know what I meant to ask you before when we were talking about Yahtzee? Because me and my family, we would have heated Yahtzee nights. So I'm sure there's probably some really competitive people.
There are. They come in. Initially we would give them our little case trays that we package the beer with, to roll their dice. Some of these customers are coming in. They make a little box.
Oh yeah.
They decorate the box and
they have their own dice and everything.
Yeah, exactly. In addition, we have, you're probably going to hear this train come in. One thing for us here, train, as that train goes by, the whole place is screaming train. It's
I love that.
Basically cheers.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the Yahtzee. They're making their own little dice box. They're decorating the dice box. Our David does various themes throughout the week. All right, we're going to be doing, I think he did Hawaiian night the other day, or Christmas in July.
Oh, yeah.
The other day, everybody dressed
in
Christmas. So it's pretty cool. It's fun what they're doing.
It's funny they mentioned Christmas in July. Yeah, because I was when I was out in Georgia a few weeks ago, I recorded at a brewery out there, and they were having Christmas in July over there. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I had no, and then I've heard a couple other people talk about it. I was like, oh dang. Oh, that's cool. And I wanted to just go back. You're talking about the community and the locals that are the people your regulars and stuff like that. I always feel, because I'm trying to figure out how to say it. One of my favorite shows of all time is Cheers.
Yeah.
And I've always it was Norman Cliff and obviously Ted Danson. Oh gosh, what was his name in the show? I can't think of it at the moment. Sam Malone. I was like, well, how am I forgetting the main character?
Yeah.
But them sitting there having conversations. Yeah. And that's what I've always wanted this to be.
Yes.
It's like you're sitting across from somebody, having a beer and talking about life and what's going on. And talking about how great the beer is, which is obviously, I know I said it already, but I'll say it again. This is fantastic.
Sure. Thank you.
I think it's great when you can have that kind of relationship with, your regulars.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Absolutely. We've also introduced many of our customers to home brewing, just with the conversation, we're sitting up there. In fact, our beer tender, hey, Robbie, he picked up the hobby of home brewing, just from being here in the craft brewery. He picked it up. He learned quite a bit. I would, kind of guide him with certain things. He would talk to other brewers, and I've had a few customers come in that, hey, I want to get into home brewing. How do I get into that? What do I do? And
share your knowledge.
They just have that itch for it, and it's awesome to see.
Oh, I love it. And especially I've talked to some former beer tenders that became, brewers and opened up their own brewery.
That's so cool.
Even Jason, shout out to Jason Delatorio over at Ogo Pogo. He was just he worked at a craft beer bar, and he was just man, this is pretty, this is something here. And then eventually opened up his brewery, and he has a second location.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that. And I love it too when not management, but the owners, or if it is an owner or if it's management, they're if someone says, hey, I'm kind of thinking about trying this, and they're yeah, here we go, come back and watch, that kind of thing. I love that part of it, because you're not trying to hide anything.
Sure.
You're trying to, if someone's really that interested, you're willing to help them, learn and then also grow at the same time. Sure.
One thing with me, I'm so approachable.
Yeah.
I'm a home brewer. Oh, I have a big heart for home brewers. Yeah. I've been there. I've done that. I'll spend time. I'll pour a beer. We'll sit down at the table together.
That's great.
And, just talk beer,
Yeah.
And, I love sharing what I've learned. probably not the best at it, but I learn every day, and I love sharing what I've learned.
Love that, man.
Yeah.
That's great. And so there's a lot, especially I feel like in this industry, there's people that are like that. And that's like, what's better than that?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your most memorable, like fun kind of brew day?
Oh gosh. You know what? Definitely. We have a very good friend that we've known, I've known since early high school. My wife, Jennifer, grew up with her, so she's known her since elementary school. Her name is Trisha, and her husband is Gus. Trisha's sister, Valerie, lost her home in the Paradise Fire. I think it was called the Camp Fire.
Yeah.
And that was just heartbreaking.
Of course.
We've known Valerie for a very long time. When we heard Sierra Nevada was putting together a fundraiser, we definitely wanted to be part of this.
That's awesome.
The beer was called Resilience IPA, and I can't even remember the year.
Yeah.
But 100% of the sales were going to the fire victims.
Wow.
I was on board when I first heard this, and it was an honor to call Trisha and Gus. Hey, will you guys join me on this brew day?
Yeah.
We brewed a 1-barrel batch. At that time, I had a 1-barrel system.
Okay.
And I had Trisha and Gus, and it was just a fun day. Just being part of it, talking about stories of growing up, talking about Valerie. But it was an emotional day as well, knowing she lost her home. But
it's devastating.
It was. The whole community was just gone.
Yeah.
Gone, unthinkable. But that was a memorable brew day.
Wow.
We had the beer sold really good. It felt good. Sending a check off for those sales proceeds, and
that's great.
It was a feel good story.
Of course, man. And even like one thing I loved, I mean that's so awesome. You did that, even like the We Love LA, beer. Because my dad's house, I mean, it didn't burn down, thankfully, because he's in Altadena.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like I'm so grateful that my dad's house didn't burn down, but then you see everything else.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, because he's just a couple miles away from Eaton Canyon. So I was like, oh my gosh, my dad's house is going to burn down.
Yeah.
But thankfully, for all the victims, like the We Love LA thing that they did was just, it just shows how great it is. Like, and I sound like a broken record, but it just shows how great the community is
coming together and help. Unfortunately, we weren't part of that. We were in the process of doing another fundraiser for the Pasadena Humane Society. They were getting so many pets from the fire victims there.
Yeah.
So we were approached by one of our regular bands, For the People. Hey, Manny. And about asking if we would be interested in doing an event to raise funds for the Humane Society.
Yeah.
All in, absolutely. So we were doing a raffle. One of the raffles prizes was, all right, you're gonna a beer for $1 for a whole year was one of the raffle prizes.
Wow.
Another prize was you get to name a beer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And about 2 weeks ago, we came out with the beer. A gentleman won the contest.
Okay.
Jim Short had lost his wife a few years ago. So what he wanted to do in honor of her was name a beer after her, was JTQ Short Ale.
Okay.
And what the JTQ stands for is Jennifer the Queen. And that was a nickname he had for his wife. And we came up with a tangerine blonde ale. We got a hold of some great tangerine puree.
Okay.
And it was a hit. We're almost done with the beer. So if you want that beer, come in today. But last weekend, I think it was Jennifer's birthday. And he asked if we can celebrate her birthday by having a band. He would pay for a particular band to come in.
Okay.
And it was a great event. People came in. It was all about Jennifer the Queen that day. And that was a fun event.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, man, I love that. Like you can do something like that for someone else. I mean, grief, like grief hits everybody differently, of course.
Sure.
I mean, and there's no timeline on, how long that lasts, but I mean, that's really cool that you guys did that.
Yeah. And again, it's about community, love for our customers.
There it is. I mean, that's the best.
Yep.
I'm going to jump in here for another one of this. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Because I always love to ask this, your worst brew day you've ever had.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you two of them actually. I've only dumped 2 beers.
Oh, dang!
All right,
in 8 years.
Yeah, holy but they're it's okay. It was expected. My very first brew that I brewed.
Okay.
Everybody was giving me advice. All right. Get some old grain, just practice the transfer, practice your temperature, just brew a beer that you're not going to put on tap. Just old grains, just work with the process. Now I got it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I got this.
So, it was gosh, I can't even remember the beer. It was a honey, something with honey, beer. But everything went wrong.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong from, mashing in water was too hot. Couldn't hit the temperature. Pumps. Am I doing this right? Just everything went wrong. And, I ended up getting the beer into the fermenter. I couldn't get it. I couldn't knock out at the proper temperature.
Okay.
Had the valves too wide open. It was just a nightmare. So I've ended up getting it in the fermenter, pitched the yeast, but they made the decision the next day. No, I don't want to put this on tap. And that's my number one rule here. Nothing goes, if it doesn't meet our standards here, it doesn't go on tap.
Oh yeah.
So that was the number one worst brew day. This one actually, probably beats that one. We live in North Fontana, so we get a lot of winds out there, high winds.
Yeah.
It's a way of life for us out there. I mean, 50, 60 mile an hour winds.
Yeah.
But we come into town probably 3 miles into Rancho, the wind is done.
Yeah, there's no wind. Yeah.
So this one morning, we're having high winds. I pull up the camera. I look outside. I see some leaves, blowing past the window. Okay, I'll be good. I'll be good. Get into work. Everything looks good. Let's start the brew process. Mash in. Everything's good. Hitting my numbers, hitting the temperatures. And then all of a sudden, I hear the whirlybirds just really blowing. I hear the doors rattling.
Yeah.
The wind is just starting to blow here.
Wow.
Damn. All right. Well, let's keep on going. All of a sudden, we lose power here to the building.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Power's out. All right. Well, I just got done mashing. 1 hour is done. I need to transfer, but I got no power.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wait it out. All right. Another hour passes. Nothing. All right. Texting all my brewery friends, going on the Colorado Boy alum website. How long can I keep that beer in that mash tun? I need to transfer it. Well, wait another hour. So this is 2 hours gone by and nothing, no power. I'm calling Edison. Yeah, transformer down. He'll be back up very soon. Keeping fingers crossed. It never happened. Never happened. So I ended up having to dump that beer. But luckily, I never added the hops. I never added the yeast. I was just down the grains. That 4 maybe 450 pounds of grain.
Wow.
I'm going to take that loss, take it like a man and, just understand when the wind comes up, I don't brew.
Okay.
I learned an expensive lesson.
Just to go back to the first story and you talk about dumping that one because it wasn't up to your standards.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a testament. I mean, obviously your beers are a testament to you because they're really good, but it's a testament to people that because I love brewers because they're perfectionists.
Sure.
It's never good enough, right?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And when people they're like, nope, this isn't going to make it there. Mm-hmm. But they're, and I get it because business wise, sometimes there's brewers who are like, yeah, I got to put it out there.
I've had some advice, people telling me that, it's like, I don't go there.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, like I said, it's a testament to you, not willing to be able to put out something that you don't feel like should be on the tap, on the tap list.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about these days is, you got platforms out there. You got Yelp. You got this Untapped.
Yeah.
It's, these type of reviews can really hurt a business.
100%.
And so, anything subpar. Luckily, it was just those two beers. I've had a dump,
awesome.
and knock on wood, we've been very fortunate and blessed here.
That's fantastic, dude. 8 years and only 2 dumps, dude. That kudos.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's great. Next segment is taproom tunes. So I know we talked a little bit about Depeche Mode and stuff like that. Oh, so when you're brewing, are you listening to the same thing? Or are you doing?
It's all about the 80s. There it is. It's all about the 80s. We'll cue up the 80s, and it. I don't know what it is. It's my generation.
Yeah, I get
it. Just those electronic keyboards, the deep voices, the lyrics. I'm an 80s guy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. That's what's going on in my tunes.
There you go. Yeah. Are you doing a little brewing karaoke?
Oh, yeah. Always. That's on the drive home,
There it is.
Car karaoke. And especially when it's a good day, I hit all my numbers, and my back's not hurting. Oh, car karaoke time.
There you go. It's a good day when the back doesn't hurt.
Yes.
Wanted to ask you. So, next one. Before we do that, I do want to, because I know we've talked about the community so much already, but desert island beers.
So basically what, I'm on a desert island?
Yes, but you can have two different, so you can have a macro and you can have like a craft style or a specific beer.
You know what? My go-to, one of my all-time favorites is the Timbo Pills by Highland Park.
Oh, man, so good. Timbo Week was just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
That is my all-time favorite. If we're going to go to a Dodger game, you got Nick's next door. It's a little breakfast place. Got to get the breakfast. All right. We're going to go to next door to Highland Park, have that Timbo Pills. Or if we're coming back from Universal Studios, we don't want to hit that traffic. All right. We're hitting the Highland Park and getting that Timbo Pills. Gotta have that.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And what about a macro? If you had to have one,
maybe a seltzer, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you know what?
You need something you need some balance there.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to watch what I drink, and I'm liking the seltzers these days. We'll have a nice fruity seltzer just relax in the backyard.
So they're going to be like, what are they talking about? Because they won't be able to hear it once it's all gone.
Yeah, that's us.
No, I love that. I mean, where was it? I think it was when I recorded at Kings, or might have been Hamilton. And I heard the train.
Yeah. We're right on the tracks right here next door. And that's our thing. And it's so cool that all the customers get engaged with that. They start hearing the customers cheers. What is that? What does it mean? And then now you see them raising their glass and screaming cheers.
Yeah. That's cool. And then even with all the new customers you get, they're probably what's going on? But then the next time they know when they're going to be a part of it.
Yeah. And Jennifer, my wife, she does with her social media post, she types out whatever she's doing, but she ends her post with train,
Love it.
AKA cheers.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to.
That's our thing.
I'll have to tag that in the reel and on the post when this episode comes out.
In fact, we named the beer after our trade. It's not on tap right now. It's our hazy IPA. It's called Cucamonga Hazy Train.
Okay,
that's one of our.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's cool. Favorite food to pair with beer?
Oh, definitely Mexican food.
Okay.
I can't go wrong with a torta, El Pastor torta. With my Mexican lager, shrimp tacos. We got some great food vendors that come out and serve some great food. So that Pastor torta.
Okay. Yeah. If tacos, if you were just going to get tacos, what would be is the shrimp your go-to protein?
Shrimp or Pastor.
Okay.
Those two right there. Can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, it's probably chorizo for me. I love chorizo, but that's if they have it. Some places don't. So, but like asada or al pastor. Al pastor is probably my favorite, but I love a good fish or shrimp taco.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm actually making some tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I already bought all my stuff for the batter to make the batter. I'm going to make it a beer batter. So I'll probably use a banquet or hams.
Okay.
I always have hams in the fridge.
There you go. So where do you live, man?
Well, I'll be in Pico Rivera tomorrow. It's going to be right by Northrop, where Northrop used to be.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
Yeah, man. And I know we talked about it off air, but we can talk about it on air too. It's like I grew up loving planes. Like my grandpa always had, like, he would get the magazines every month with the models in it.
Yeah.
Like, well, not the ones you had to build, but they were already built, but you can mount them on the wall and stuff. Yeah. So like the B-2 bomber that had Northrop on it. I had the F-18, the Tomcat. That was like, that'll always be my favorite plane because of Top Gun. But I mean, like, I love planes. Man.
Oh man. Yeah. I had the awesome, opportunities to work on some military programs, aircrafts.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time in Boeing Long Beach. Our C-17 was to transport aircraft.
Yeah.
Was one of my programs that I managed. I had the pleasure of sitting in the cockpit there.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I seen a lot of classified aircraft, a lot of unmanned aerial aircrafts. Before I left the aerospace industry, my company was just awarded the unmanned aerial taxi.
Wow.
That was going to launch in Dallas, Texas.
Cool.
We were doing the design, the development of that particular aircraft. So in a few years, you're going to see unmanned aerial taxis in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Wow.
And shortly soon after, you'll start seeing that in LA. So we're very close to seeing that technology being launched here in LA. Yeah.
That's crazy. Cool. And I saw, so when I was in Dallas I'll be there again in a few weeks, but when I was there in April, I saw, because I know I went to a brewery out there to go record, and it's called On Rotation, but it's right next to like the museum that they have out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never been there.
Yeah, I've never been, but I was like, man, I want to check it out because it looks really, because they have like the old school fighter jets and stuff like that. I was like, man, I got to get in there and check it out.
Yeah, we lived in Dallas Fort Worth probably for about 2 years. We lived out here North Fontana for most of our life. We wanted to make a change in our life. We sold the house, moved to Fort Worth. We bought 4 acres of equestrian horse property out in Fort Worth. And that's during the time I worked for Gulfstream. Okay. And cool city, cool town, man. You know, and back then, we weren't really into the craft beer. Breweries weren't really a thing back then. Yeah. But great area, great barbecue, good people, hardworking people out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh yeah,
loved it,
man. And isn't it great that anywhere you go now, if you look for it, you can find great beer.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It is so cool. Taking a vacation, taking a trip. It's all right. Where is that brewery? Where are we going to now?
Oh yeah,
I love it. That's our vacations. That's probably one of the top things we do.
That's the best. I mean, anytime I'm planning a trip, I'm like, all right, I'm looking up the best breweries in that area, and I'm going to try to hit them all. I'm going to try to record at least one of them or 2 of them, maybe. Yeah. And you can't go wrong with it because then if people are traveling, then they can say like, oh, Mike went to this place. And I got to check that place out.
So. Yeah. The neat thing about the littlest town, I mean, we traveled to Fort Bragg, Northern California, a little seaside town. Yeah. You're always going to find a brewery somewhere in these little cities, Oh, yeah. And they're great mom and pop little breweries. Love it.
Yeah. I was in Palm Springs Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, I think it was Memorial Day weekend. And I was looking at places and I saw a few ones, but I was like, I really want to try this place, Las Palmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it was so good. I think they had like 6 beers on tap. Yeah. I tried every single one.
Oh yeah,
and they were all fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a testament to the industry. You can go anywhere,
sure,
and find great beer.
I think I have their beer in the walk-in cooler.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. My son owns a home out there in Palm Springs, so we go out there often. I love their beer scene.
I love it.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I just want to. I have one last thing to ask you, but before I ask you that, I want to just say thank you. Thanks for letting me come down and hear your story and enjoy some of your delicious beers. And I'm grateful.
Well, you know what? You're welcome. But, thank you for coming out, giving me this opportunity, supporting the craft beer community, all us breweries out here. We work really hard to do what we do, to keep us busy. And, thank you for doing what you do. there's certain, I love watching your podcast, very entertaining.
Thanks, man.
You and Luis, I love your little videos,
Yeah.
when I need a laugh, there's certain days here. It's just, I get beat up, in the back, and
of course,
I see your level up, little videos. It makes me laugh. So it's just like, all right,
yeah.
Thank you for that, man.
Yeah. I got to do something to just make it fun.
Right.
So,
it is fun. It is
fun. So last question.
Yeah.
If you had to describe yourself in one word.
Oh gosh. Thorough.
Love that.
And that probably comes from my days working in the aerospace industry, working quality control. If we make a mistake in that industry, that'll cost us
catastrophic
millions of dollars. Yeah. Exactly. Catastrophic. So I'm very thorough. I transferred that to my brewing industry here. Yeah. Everything is thorough. Everything from recipe development. I'm doing my research. I'm trying to, I want to understand, okay, these hops, this yeast, these grains, what profile am I, trying to go after? And I'm researching.
Yeah.
Brewing back there, I'm always double checking, coming from quality control background, it's double check yourself. I don't want to dump a beer,
of course.
I'm a small mom and pop, dumping a beer like that, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So I pay attention to detail when I'm brewing back there. I watch my temperatures, ingredients. I get the freshest ingredients I can get my hands on. So being thorough is everything to me. Even planning our vacation. I planned our vacation to Mammoth that we're going on next week. Every day here for the past couple of weeks, I'm researching. All right, What are we going? What campsite? What brewery are we going to? So that's just me. That's my natural nature, just being very thorough.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, man, congratulations on 8 years coming up.
Thank you.
I feel like that's great, and honestly, kudos to you, to your wife, for doing that. I think I mentioned it. Oh no, I mentioned it on here. I don't want to say it again, but it just, I think it's really cool. How you guys have, taken this on together, and it's not always easy, I'm sure,
right?
Because it being a mom and pop, but you're putting out a fantastic product.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and
everyone, if you're in the area, or if you're not in the area, or if you're just coming to cruise by, or if you're driving by, or going on a road trip, stop by and have a beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in and say hi.
Yeah,
let's talk about the beers and let's enjoy.
And yell train when the train goes by.
Right, train.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was a blast recording with Raul. We had a phenomenal time. And, like I said, I can't say enough good things about that guy. Just him and his wife and what they've done together. It's just, I remember saying it back on Twosome when I talked to Zeke and Lulu. Can't say enough good things about, when you and your partner can come together and, really just do the deep dive. And I thought it was so cool. How it said he tried that craft beer and then immediately went out there and bought a kit and was just just got, completely, absorbed by it and just didn't want to let it go. And obviously I'm so glad that he didn't, because he makes phenomenal stuff. All right. I think that's about all I got. Next week's episode is the comics and brews. So the next few are all going to be remote ones, which was nice. I was able to, to do some stuff like that. So it'll be comics and brews, and then Daniel from Tipsy Entertainment, and then the Brewed At, and then I'll be recording with Anne, and then Steven the Gladiator. And then I think even Labor Day weekend, I think I'm going to be recording with, I think on the Sunday with Teo from Crowns and Hops. That's the plan right now, but we're going to see how everything's go, because it's a holiday weekend. So, stuff happens. All right. Well, like I said, I hope you guys have well, you know what? Before we do that, Luis released over at Level Up, he released a new, it's a New Zealand Pils called the Gin Brew Force. It is so bomb. So if you haven't been to Level Up in a while, or you haven't been at all, dude, get over there. Like, come on, just do it already. Go over there and try that. It's fire, and he's got a new lager coming out pretty soon. So yeah, and you guys wonder why I'm there all the time. Obviously to support my buddy, but just to yeah, he makes fire beers. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your week. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday, and don't forget to support local, drink local, and find your beer. Cheers.